Welcome to Secret Passions, where we have the conversations nobody else dares to have. Real talk, no sugarcoating, just truth that sets you free. And today, we're diving into something that keeps you awake at night, even now. Even after all these years of living, loving, losing, the size of your manhood. Before we go any further, if you appreciate honest content that respects your intelligence, hit that like button right now. It tells me you're ready for the truth. And subscribe to Secret Passions. If you have UNT already because we're rebuilding a community of men who choose authenticity over illusion, here's the brutal truth you need to hear. At your age, your body probably unsurvive all the dangerous nonsense you would be willing to put it through just to gain an imaginary inch or two. Expensive creams, miracle pills, pumps promising instant results. You've seen them all flooding your feed, and yet here you are, still wondering, is you hoping? Drop a comment right now and tell me, have you ever been tempted by one of these products? Be honest. This is a judgment-free zone. Your comment helps other men realize they're not alone in this struggle. But what if I told you that everything you've been chasing is based on a lie? What if the very thing keeping you up at night doesn't matter nearly as much as you think? Let me paint you a picture. You're standing in front of the bathroom mirror after a shower, you look down, you sigh, and you think to yourself, if only it were a bit bigger, she'd be happier. But here's what might shock you. A recent study involving thousands of women revealed something extraordinary. The vast majority of them actually prefer average size over large. Not just prefer it, they actively avoid anything too big. Many admitted that excessive size causes pain, discomfort, and they often fake pleasure just to make it stop. If that surprised you, give this video a like, because what I'm about to share next will completely change how you see yourself. Let that sink in for a moment. The average size, just under 5.5 inches when fully erect, measured properly from base to tip. Not 6, not 7, definitely not the exaggerated dimensions you see in adult films performers who are specifically cast for their unusual anatomy and often enhanced before filming. If you measure between 4.5 to 6.5 inches, you're completely, perfectly, wonderfully normal. True medical micropenis that's less than 3 inches when erect. And it affects less than 1% of men, everyone else, the other 99%. Absolutely normal. Write normal in the comments if you're realizing you've been worrying about nothing all these years. I read every single comment, and your participation helps YouTube show this video to more men who desperately need to hear this message. So why does this insecurity roar back to life after 50? Because you're rediscovering intimacy in a whole new chapter. Maybe there's a new partner. Maybe medication has reignited your vitality. Maybe you're re-navigating the world of modern dating where women your age are finally free to express their desires openly. And suddenly, that old voice whispers, what if she compares you to someone else? What if she's experienced bigger? So you find yourself typing into search engines late at night looking for answers. And the internet sends you straight into the arms of con artists. Most people don't realize this industry generates billions annually worldwide, preying almost exclusively on men over 45 billions. More than entire medical device markets. And 98% of what they're selling either doesn't work or actively harms you. If you're grateful someone's finally telling you the truth, instead of trying to sell you something, smash that like button. Your support keeps this channel ad-free and honest. Stay with me because in just a few minutes, I am going to show you how to gain up to 1.5 inches of visible length without spending a single dollar, without taking any risks, and without any products whatsoever. And yes, your partner will notice immediately. No creams. I promise. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because next week we're covering something even more powerful and you won't want to miss it. Take a breath. Let's continue this journey together. The truth is just beginning. Understanding what actually works, let's dive into the heart of this. What genuinely works to increase size? And more importantly, what's dangerous or completely useless when you're past 50? We'll start with the scams, because that's where you lose the most money and sometimes the health of your most intimate anatomy. Search for natural enhancement methods online and within seconds, you're bombarded with ads. Expensive creams, titanium-grade supplements, exotic patches, premium pumps, pills claiming to be better than prescription medications with guaranteed growth. The result? Zero actual gain. And sometimes burns, allergic reactions, or permanent scarring that leaves you deformed for life. Medical safety agencies regularly issue warnings about these products. They contain either nothing at all, hidden steroids, or dangerous unregulated substances. Men have ended up in emergency rooms with erections lasting half a day after using supposed miracle gels. Doctors had to manually drain the blood to save them. Comment below if you've ever wasted money on products like these. Your story might save another man from making the same mistake. Here's a simple test. Take that expensive cream. Put a small amount on your fingertip every day for a month. If your finger grows, then buy 12 jars and use it everywhere else. If not, throw it away immediately. To this day, not one person has returned to tell me their finger got bigger. Strange, isn't it? Now, the only two methods that actually increase anatomical length, I mean, truly, not just visually. First, mechanical traction devices. The principle, continuous gentle stretching for 4 to 8 hours daily for 6 to 12 months. Average result, about 3/4 of an inch in resting length and half an inch when erect, according to comprehensive medical reviews. The problem? After 50. You're walking around with plastic equipment under your clothes. It rubs. It irritates sensitive nerves. Nearly half of men quit before 3 months. And past 55, the risk of nerve damage increases significantly. Second, surgical intervention. They cut the suspensory ligament so the shaft hangs forward more. Gains of 3/4 to an inch at rest, often less when erect. Then you wear a traction device for months to stabilize. Risks after 50, visible scarring, changed direction angle pointing downward instead of up, reduced stability during intimacy, and worst of all, 12 to 18% of patients experience permanent loss of sensation. Recent data from hundreds of surgical cases confirms this. No reputable specialist will operate if you're above 3.5 inches erect. It's been in professional guidelines for years. You know what 9 out of 10 patients tell me after 50 when I explain all this? They say, actually, I'd rather keep my natural size and full sensation than risk feeling nothing just for an extra bit of length. And they're absolutely right. If you agree that natural sensation is worth more than risky surgery, let me know with a like and keep watching, because what's coming next is pure gold. But then comes the question, is there really nothing we can do? Yes. And this is where it gets fascinating, because there are strategies that give you up to 1.5 inches of visible length starting tonight without spending anything, without pain, without risk, and your partner will see it immediately. We're getting to that right now. And believe me, you're going to have a genuine revelation when you try the first trick in front of your mirror tonight. Solutions that actually work. Now we move to solutions that work immediately and are perfectly suited for men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. And the first one is so obvious, you're going to slap yourself when you hear it. Lose the belly. Every 20 pounds of fat you lose reveals between half an inch to a full inch of visible length. Why? Because abdominal fat, that pad of tissue above your pubic area literally buries the base of your shaft. Research following over 100 men between late 40s and late 60s through a year-long weight loss program found that those who lost 25 pounds gained over half an inch of measurable length at rest and nearly half an inch when erect without doing anything else. One man I worked with was nearly 6 feet tall, weighing 230 pounds, measuring just under 5 inches erect. After losing 40 pounds, dropping to 190, he came back and told me, "I feel like I have my youth back." He measured 5.5 inches exactly average, and his wife, who knew nothing about our consultation, spontaneously asked him that very night what had changed. Comment losing IT if you're committed to losing that belly fat. Let's build accountability together in this community. Trim or shave your pubic area. A clean, well-groomed area trimmed very short instantly gives you 3/4 to over an inch of visible length. It's purely optical, but it's dramatic. I have every patient do this before follow-up appointments. They emerge from the bathroom with wide eyes, saying the difference is massive. And their partners notice that first night. Change your viewing angle. You've spent your entire life looking down at yourself from above. Of course, it looks shorter from that perspective. Take Yummy Horse stand sideways, or better yet, take a profile photo. Yes, do it. Nobody's judging you. One man came to me nearly in tears. After taking that profile photo, he said, "I'd never seen myself like this before. It's normal." Absolute eureka moment. He left without asking for devices or surgery, just carrying that photo in his phone for reassurance. If you're going to try the mirror trick tonight, type mirror in the comments. I want to hear about your eureka moment. Strengthen your pelvic floor male exercises for your pelvic muscles. A toned pelvic floor means better blood engorgement, firmer erections that stand higher, making everything appear larger and more imposing. Research from 12 weeks of daily pelvic exercises, 3 sets of 15 slow contractions, plus 10 quick pulses increase circumference by over half a centimeter on average and rigidity by 28%. And crucially, you maintain firmness longer. After 50, that's gold. The little-known morning strategy. Every morning when you wake, you have a natural erection, often the hardest of the day. Stay lying down for 5 minutes. Gently contract your pelvic muscles 20 times. Let the blood fill completely, then rise slowly. Result: for the next 30 to 60 minutes, you're at maximum fullness and length for the day. If you're intimate in the morning or even just cuddling, your partner sees you at peak volume. Some specialists call this the morning glory technique. It costs nothing and works every single time. Combining these 5 strategies: weight loss, grooming, profile perspective, pelvic exercises, morning optimization, most men gain between 1 to 1.5 inches of visible length in under 3 months, and their confidence explodes. Give this video a thumbs up if you're going to implement at least one of these strategies. Your like tells me this content is making a real difference. Now we reach the most important part of this entire conversation. What truly matters after 50, and why you already have everything you need to make a woman deeply, completely happy. What actually matters? We arrive at the heart of the matter. What nobody dares tell you honestly in those expensive advertisements. After 50, your size doesn't even rank in the top 5 things that bring a woman to climax. A monumental study published recently surveyed nearly 7,000 European women aged 50 to 72 in relationships lasting at least 5 years. The question: what makes you reach orgasm most often with your current partner? The results: 87% said duration and quality of foreplay, caresses, kissing, direct stimulation. 81% said the feeling of emotional safety and connection. 94% said the man taking his time and listening to her reactions. 62% said communication during intimacy. Me, what you enjoy. And size. It ranked 27th out of 29 factors at less than 4% of responses. Less than 4%. If this statistic just blew your mind, hit that like button and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. In other words, your experience, your tenderness, your genuine desire to give pleasure are worth 100 times more than any extra measurement. Let me share 3 simple techniques that transform intimate life for men past 50. Minimum 15 minutes of foreplay. A woman in her 50s and 60s needs more time for natural lubrication and internal expansion. If you hashi in even with above average size, it hurts. If you take your time, even with below average size, it's paradise. Positions where she controls depth are on top, spooning, her seated, facing you. She decides how deep. 0 pain, maximum pleasure. The golden rule. Her external pleasure first, penetration second. 3/4 of women never reach climax through penetration alone. Learn to satisfy her with your hands or mouth before you even enter her, and I guarantee she won't care in the slightest. Whether you measure 5 inches or 7, Juan Masworji, from my heart to yours. You're 50, 55, 60, or beyond. You've lived, you've loved, you know how to listen. You know how to make her laugh. You know how to hold a woman in your arms like nobody else can. All of that, no young performer will ever have it. Your absolute weapon isn't your anatomy. It's your whole self. So stop obsessing over manipulated videos. Throw away the fake creams. Lose some weight. Trim your grooming. Hold her in your arms and actually listen to her, and you'll see her eyes shine brighter than ever before. Quick summary: average size, 5.5 inches. You're almost certainly completely normal. Creams, pills, pumps, 98% scams with real risks. Surgery and devices. Only for true medical cases. Never before that. Immediate free solutions, weight loss, grooming, correct angles, pelvic exercises, morning optimization. What truly counts after 50? Your experience, your foreplay, your listening. Here's what I want you to carry forward today. Like a gentle truth you can hold on to. You are already enough. Your worth has never been measured in inches, but in the depth of presence you bring to every intimate moment. If this opened your eyes or gave you peace, show your support. Hit that like button. It genuinely helps this message reach more men who need it. Subscribe to Secret Passions if you haven't. Yet we're building something real here. A community where men can be vulnerable, honest, and empowered. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. And here's my challenge to you. Tell me in the comments which technique you retrying first. Type mirror if you're doing the profile photo tonight. Type Kegel if you're starting pelvic exercises. Type belly if you're committed to losing weight. Type morning if you're trying the morning optimization. I personally read every comment, and I often reply, your engagement doesn't just help the algorithm, creates real conversation and accountability in this community. Next week, we re-tackling something hundreds of you have asked about. How to reclaim the vitality you had decades ago without relying on constant medication. You absolutely won't want to miss it. Until then, remember, your greatest strength has always been who you are, not what you measure. This is Secret Passions. Real talk, real transformation, real community. Juan Marty Chimi, like, subscribe, comment. Let's change the conversation together.